Hi everyone, Sahil from QuickNode here, and in this video we will learn about GraphQL subscriptions, and we will also see how we can use these GraphQL subscriptions to get real-time on-chain data using QuickNode's Graph API. So without any ado, let's jump into it. So first, let's learn about GraphQL subscriptions, and before that, let's see how a traditional GraphQL scenario works. So in a traditional GraphQL scenario, there is a client and a server. So whenever a client wants some data, it'll send a GraphQL query to the server and then get the relevant response. But in GraphQL subscriptions, there is a client and server as well. But in this case, a client will send a GraphQL subscription query for a certain event or for a certain data. And whenever that data is updated or whenever that event occurs, the server will send the data to the client. This is not just a one-time thing, but whenever that particular event occurs, the server will send the data back to the client, or whenever that data is updated, the server will send the response to the client. With QuickNode's Graph API, you can request certain data from the server and get the response for only the data which you asked for. And the same goes for QuickNode Live Graph as well. You can request certain data from the server, and whenever that particular data gets updated or whenever that particular event occurs, the server will send you the response in terms of the fields you requested for. So to get started, you'll need the API key, which you can see over here. Just copy it and go to the Live Graph tab. And then, as you can see, I have already written a small query over here to get the new mints, new NFT mints whenever they occur. You can also find them by clicking over here and then choosing between these. You can also set up a custom notification by going over here and then going over here and then adding expression as an input. In the expression input, you'll have to add a quick alerts expression as an input. Check out the linked video to learn what quick alerts is and how to set up a quick alert. So once you have written this subscription query, you'll have to add a header, authentication header, which is x dash API dash key, and it'll contain your QuickNode's Graph API key or Graph API's authentication key, which is this over here. And then you'll have to add a simple input variable for network, which is Ethereum mainnet in this case. So let's try to run this query. As you can see, it's listening now. And whenever a new mint will occur, a new NFT mint will occur, it'll send us the data. All right, so we have got the data. And as you can see, the fields are what we requested for, which are block hash, block number, collection address, collection name, circulating supply, total supply, symbol, slug, then recipient address, ENS name, if any, then wallet NFTs, wallet collections, etc. Now you know how you can set up GraphQL subscription using QuickNode's Graph API in a sandbox playground environment. This is a Apollo sandbox environment, but let's see how we can set this up in a JavaScript code in a Node.js environment. For that, you'll have to check out the docs. So just go to Graph API docs and then click on live graph over here and scroll down, you'll find the LiveGraph API endpoint, which is this, but this is in HTTPS. For it to work in JavaScript, we will need to convert this in WebSocket endpoint. So for that, simply replace this HTTPS with WSS. That's it. It will be a WebSocket endpoint. So over here, I have a simple JavaScript script, Node.js script, and over here I'm importing WebSocket from the WS library and importing create client stringify message, parse message from GraphQL WS library. And then I am creating or initializing our WebSocket over here. So the link which you got from the docs goes here, and then creating a new variable which will contain our subscription query, subscription GraphQL query. The variable is subscription query, and add the subscription query as string. So it goes between quotes, as you can see over here. And then over here, I am starting a new WebSocket client, which takes few arguments. Arguments being the URL, which we saved over here in WebSocket URL variable. The other argument is what will be the WebSocket implementation. So it'll be a standard WebSocket implementation. Then connection parameters is headers, which is X API key, and your GraphQL API key will go here. Then add stringify message and parse message so that we can communicate with WebSocket using string. And then creating a new async function. And in a try catch block, we are subscribing to our WebSocket client by passing few parameters. The parameters being query, which we saved in the subscription query, the subscription GraphQL query, and also passing variables. Variables are the network variables, which we also saw in the GUI sandbox environment. Over here, we are subscribing to the Polygon mainnet network. In the sandbox environment, we subscribe to the Ethereum mainnet network. So once we get the result, we are telling our script to console.log the result, and then we are stringifying, or we are converting the data in a JSON format, and then we will print it. And then we are just handling errors by printing the error if there's any. And once the subscription is complete, we will print it. And in a catch block, we are just catching the error and printing them. So this is how you can set up your GraphQL subscription in a JavaScript node.js environment. So let's try to run this. So from the previous run, I have the data over here. So once the subscription is live and data starts coming in, it will look something like this. So let's try to run it again. Node index, which is our file's name. Let's wait for the events to start coming in. Okay, so as you can see, we already have our first event, which is over here. This is our string, which we hard coded, and this is the data which we got from the server. And this is the second set of information which we got from the server. This is the third set. So it'll keep going until we stop the server or until we stop the subscription. So this is how you can set up your GraphQL subscription using QuickNode's Graph API. This is very helpful if you want to get live on-chain events or live on-chain data updates, and you don't need to get the response as a whole. You can subscribe to the GraphQL server and only get the data which is valuable for you. Thank you, everyone. Do check out the video on quick alerts if you want to learn what quick alerts are and how to set up custom notifications. Like this video and comment down any query if you have around the video or anything related to blockchain. And to let us know what's the next topic you would want us to make a video on. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to see more such videos on blockchain topics. Thank you, everyone.